My computer is all messed up this morning. Good morning, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell's going on. I might have a virus, Yeti. I don't know what the hell's happening, but everything is getting scrambled. So welcome back to the Daily Grind. Sorry, Google just closed on me like 4 times. I was trying to set up. I don't know what the hell's going on, but for VIP guys, I put a picture in Discord so you guys could see with my phone. It's kind of crazy. Anyways. Yeah, I've entered the Matrix. It was like a bunch of little white squares all over my desktop, and it just completely crashed. Like everything just went down. I was like, what the hell just happened? Anyways, good to see you guys. Happy Friday. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. Hopefully it's not a long one for you. But either way, let me finish getting set up here. Jeez, this is brutal. All right, let's see how the market's doing today. It's clearly because everything was green and then just wanted to turn red on me before we started. So 30,000 Bitcoin still holding over it, which is kind of cool. 1870 for ETH. XRP 48 cents. We have Dogecoin still 6.5 cents. Litecoin, I'm happy to see that it's still in the 80s, 85 and a half or so. Kind of crazy. But yeah, overall everything's actually looking pretty good, and I think it has a lot to do with this whole BlackRock ETF stuff. But I guess we'll have to see. I want to watch a few little clips from a few different places today. So on the week, everything's up pretty good. See, my computer's doing it again. Son of a bitch, dude. I don't know what's going on with my computer right now. I have no idea what's going on with it. Your YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. I apologize, dude. I don't know what's going on here. We're gonna try to fight through this one today, guys. I don't know what the hell's up. I'm gonna have to look into my computer after this Yeti. Yeah, so we're gonna have to, if I can't figure this out, then yeah, for sure we're gonna have to look at it. Anyways, top 10 coins by coin market cap: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USD Coin, XRP, Lido Staked, Ether, Cardano, Dogecoin, and Solana. We have, oh god, sorry, I didn't mean to blind everybody. 65 on the Fear and Greed Index. And without further ado, I'm going to try to play some of this stuff. I don't know how it's going to go today, but we're going to try like hell. Anyways, what's up, DJ Mines? Good to see you. Steven Cicero, everybody here that's in the chat, appreciate you. Sorry I didn't say hello this morning, but as you can see, I have stuff everywhere. All right, let's check this out. So again, I think this whole the BlackRock thing, trying to have like Bitcoin ETFs for spot trading, I really do think that's kind of the reason behind this whole pump, which is kind of I don't know, it's interesting, right? So I just found a bunch of different clips from CNBC, Bloomberg Television, things like that. I'll leave links down below if you guys are interested, and we can actually, you know, we can read this real quick before we watch something. Hopefully this goes well. But yeah, BlackRock Bitcoin spot ETF, nod unlikely in near term QCP capital. So let's see, Bitcoin is unlikely to see its first spot price exchange traded fund ETF in the United States soon. It says that is the opinion of trading firm QCP Capital, which in its June 22nd market update warned about spot ETFs prospects. SEC's Gensler presents Bitcoin ETF roadblock. That's what this is labeled. It says the Bitcoin BTC price has gained more than 20% since BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, applied to list a US spot Bitcoin ETF. Let me just pull up my screen. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. This thing's got me all messed up today. All right. It says this would be the first of its kind, as all such spot ETF applications have been rejected so far by the US regulator responsible for approving ETFs, the Securities and Exchange Commissions, the SEC, which is Gary Gensler, right? While institutional involvement in the Bitcoin space is destined to increase, QCP says, the current markup of the SEC means that spot ETFs getting the go-ahead remains unlikely. The picture is complicated by current SEC chair Gary Gensler, under whose leadership the body delivered lawsuits against major crypto exchanges Binance and Coinbase. However, with Gensler as head of the SEC, we are not confident of the actual ETF approval happening in the near term, QCP wrote in the update. So, I mean, we need to get rid of Gensler. That's the biggest thing, right? I mean, they're already trying, so whatever. Anyways, let's just hear what everybody has to say about this whole BlackRock Bitcoin thing. I'm kind of interested about it, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. And again, if there are any issues with my computer, I apologize. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but feel free to ask. All right, let's do it.
Joining us now is Mark Yusko from Working at Creep Capital. Mark, it's great to have you on, and I'm going to start right there. When you have BlackRock entering the fray, and also, by the way, Citadel and Schwab and Fidelity backing EDX Markets, the crypto exchange that also launched this week, what does it signal?
Look, I think it's great that the traditional financial services firms are coming around to the technological innovation that's been going on for the last really 14 years since the birth of Bitcoin, but really the last 5 years have been the acceleration. And we knew that eventually the big firms would find their way into the space. But I actually think it's a validation of one, the technology, and two, validation of business models saying that, look, this is here to stay.
So this is good news, and this rally has legs. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think the rally is just beginning. You know, we just entered what's called the seasonal period of crypto summer. There's this 4-year cycle around something called the halving, which is where the block rewards for the Bitcoin blockchain change every 4 years. That causes a period of accumulation going into that. That event will occur next April. That's called crypto summer. Then we usually get a speculative blow off after the halving event, and then a overreaction on the downside called crypto winter. So, you know, last week, June 15th was kind of the bridge into the 10 months coming into the halving. It just happened to coincide with BlackRock announcing their ETF. And we're up, I think, 14, 15% since that announcement. But I think the rally is just beginning over the next year.
I'm just not convinced that this matters in a bold-faced way. I mean, it seems to me that crypto and Web3 kind of lost the narrative. This was supposed to be the future of finance and the future of, you know, technology. A lot of people, the future of commerce, a lot of people were saying. Now that narrative has moved to AI, and crypto is sort of more in the metaverse bin. Why is that
This guy's
wrong?
clearly not into crypto.
Does this move and others like it that we're talking about today, does that move crypto and Bitcoin specifically any closer to being in charge of the narrative again?
Well, I think the narrative's actually completely wrong. The idea that the digital assets are in the waste bin, you know, seems kind of silly to me. We're talking about a $1.2 trillion asset from zero 14 years ago, $500 billion in Bitcoin alone.
Well, but we're not talking
kind of
about
silly to
like,
say it's
we're not talking about NFTs or virtual real estate in the same way anymore. People aren't trying to buy the virtual place next to Snoop Dogg's house. Like, people are concerned about actual commercial real estate right now.
Well, no, that's been the whole point all along, right? Blockchain technology.
Can you guys even hear this? All my shit just went down. Hold on. Can you guys still hear this? No. Fuck. God damn it. Hold on. If you can still see me. Can you still see me, hopefully? God damn. Can you hear me? You can hear me? Dude, that's so weird. None of my stuff's working on my my end. You can hear me. Automatic beat says muted. God damn it. It's good. All right. Bro, my Go XLR is definitely not working.
Technology is one of the four
can you hear this?
Pillars of the digital age, the ABCDs, as we call them. That's AI, blockchain technology, computer chips, and data. Those four things are transforming the way we store and exchange value. The same way that media was completely disrupted by the internet, and the value of the biggest media assets went to new assets. The same thing's happening in financial services. It's a long process. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens over decades. But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust. And we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
So So I wonder then if it's Bitcoin and everything else, when as an investor such as yourself in this space, and when you are talking about things like blockchain, and you are talking about the ledger, and you are talking also about how the asset class overall is regulated when the SEC is cracking down on so many of these tokens, but Bitcoin, at least for now, very explicitly is regulated as a commodity.
Right. Well, look, Bitcoin is digital gold. It is taking the place of what gold did for 5,000 years, right? There's only one money in the world, that's gold. Money is an asset that exists in the absence of a liability. Gold has played that role. It sits at the base layer of currency. Currency, backed by debt created by governments to facilitate commerce, sits on top of money, gold. And for 5,000 years, gold's done a good job. But gold isn't portable and it's not divisible. Bitcoin, a permanent immutable ledger, does play that role as a base layer of new money going forward, and will build the future of finance on top of that. The other things beyond that, like Ethereum or some of the other applications of blockchain technology, may have a role. I think of Ethereum more as a fiat currency replacement per chance, or like CBDCs.
Oh, wow. That was kind of a bold statement, actually. All right, so you guys can hear my voice fine. Hopefully. I think. Maybe. My Streamlabs is completely effed. Like, I can't see anything working. So I have no idea. I'm hoping you guys can still see me and hear me and whatever else, but I think you can see me fine. I just don't know if you can hear me. All right. You can hear me. All right. I'm going to hit the mute button. Tell me if this mutes me. I just want to know if that mute button worked. So if I went out for a second, let me know, because I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on with the system. I don't know what is messed up. All right, I muted. Okay, so that's working. It's got to be the... So Streamlabs updated when I started my computer. As soon as I opened it, it updated on its own. I couldn't stop it. So something is wrong. Something did not go right. Anyways, let's check out BlackRock does Bitcoin, what they might know that we don't. Let's see what the hell is up with this. So again, I'm just going to watch a few things here today, guys, and then I got to go figure out my computer. All right, perfect. Let's do it.
I want to ask a completely different question for you, Tom, because he's our overall ETF maven here. We have seen a spate of new Bitcoin ETF offerings recently, including from BlackRock. Even though everybody knows the SEC and Gary Gensler is completely hostile to the idea, and everybody said, well, they're going to say no to a Bitcoin ETF, just like they said no to everybody else. But I'm wondering why now? What does BlackRock think they're going to get out of this effort?
You can't get away from your favorite subject here, can you?
People ask me about it, and I don't have an easy answer.
Hey, Max. Go to work.
Answer for it. I always think I'm missing something here.
I think you're right. I think your sniffer
you think
usually
I'm missing something?
No. I think you're onto something. I think your sniffer is always really pretty good, Bob. If BlackRock all of a sudden has filed for a Bitcoin ETF that's not futures based, it's spot Bitcoin,
right.
Okay? And Gensler said, no way, that's not going to happen. But at the same time, they're bringing together some pretty good partners from a custody standpoint. They've got Bank of New York Mellon. They've got Coinbase.
Right.
They've got an agreement, a surveillance agreement with NASDAQ to help with the security aspect of it. So they're trying to show the SEC that they're putting all the safety provisions in place to give them the confidence, to give them that acceptance of their application. I think the big thing we know, as Gensler said, we're not going to do anything there unless we have the exchanges regulated, and Coinbase is not regulated.
But that's my question. Do you think this is going to change their mind? I can't without the clear regulatory authority, and they're not getting a bill through Congress. So now he's just resorted to essentially suing everybody. He's trying to regulate essentially by filing complaints.
Yeah.
I don't see how this changes.
If anybody can get it done, would you bet against BlackRock?
No.
You know, they're the behemoth, right? They're the.
That's why I'm thinking. I still don't quite get.
Yeah.
How are they going to change his mind?
I mean, if they can partner with Coinbase and say, look, you agree to get regulated, what would that do to your business? Imagine institutional investments, just 1% allocation to Coinbase and what that would mean. We're talking about a lot of money. Yeah. So there are a lot of people like you that are saying, huh, is this finally the time? Is it going to happen?
We're going to follow this very carefully, folks, because, again, they're not going to waste their time. Yeah. Trust me, BlackRock isn't, if they don't think they have some chance of doing something here.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I mean, if they don't see a possibility of this actually happening, they're not going to waste their time. And again, if anybody can change Gensler's mind, right, I think it's going to be one of these big companies that are actually being regulated in some form or fashion. Shut up, Joker Miner. No, seriously, all I did was play Diablo 4 on this PC. That's all I do is play Diablo 4 on this PC or crypto stuff and stream. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. It's got to be my Streamlabs, the update. So whatever. Anyways, Bitcoin gets boosts from BlackRock ETF filing. I want to see what Bloomberg has to say about this. This is a 2-minute clip, and then we'll get into one with Anthony Pomp, and then we'll probably be getting out of here. But yeah. All right, let's do it.
First of all, huge vote of confidence when you look at BlackRock and its ability to try to do this after dozens of companies have come forward and tried to create a Bitcoin ETF with no avail from the SEC and an approval for the process. We know Grayscale has sued in this regard, trying to get their conversion of GBTC into an ETF. So what's different when it comes to BlackRock? One thing is a surveillance sharing agreement when it comes to NASDAQ and the ability to really monitor what's going on with this ETF in real time. Another thing that is really interesting is the custodians themselves, because not only do you have Bank of New York Mellon that you're looking at as one of the custodians here when you think about the cash holdings.
That's kind of interesting. It says first of its kind in the U.S. if launched, right? This is the spot Bitcoin ETF filing from BlackRock. It says the SEC has rebuffed such filings. Coinbase would act as custodian, and then it said would trade on the NASDAQ. That would be fucking unreal, to be honest, for Bitcoin.
But Coinbase as well when it comes to the Bitcoin holdings. So you have another vote of confidence, not just in Bitcoin, but in Coinbase also, Matt, really just days after you saw the SEC sue Coinbase for another matter when it comes to the crypto world and the listing of certain assets. So this would be large for Bitcoin, given how many people are on the sidelines that would want a spot Bitcoin ETF to gain exposure with the confidence of the likes of BNY Mellon and BlackRock behind it. Will the SEC have more faith in a giant like BlackRock? When you look at what Bloomberg Intelligence is estimating, they expect kind of a 50-50 chance of approval by the end of the year, and even more so when you think beyond this year alone.
And then what would the implications for prices actually be, Shonali, should we see this happen, which, of course, is no guarantee?
Yeah, no guarantee at all, given the stance the SEC has had so far when it comes to Bitcoin ETFs. But again, BlackRock is another game in town. So do they change the equation here? With how many advisor assets are on the sidelines here, you would imagine that it could really encourage a lot more people to get in with a trusted, really, retirement provider, an ETF provider here like BlackRock. There's a sense that it will encourage more people to come in, but with the uncertainty, you don't see that massive price movement right now. And again, we're still talking about Bitcoin here. We're not talking about all these other types of crypto assets that are still out there that are drawing more scrutiny from the SEC. Of course, I'm sure you'll talk about it a lot. There's Ether that there's a large question around as well when the SEC will handle how they treat Ether and Bitcoin as assets relative to a lot of the other things we're seeing out there.
Yeah, no, it's not a VPN or anything, but guys, if Bitcoin does get traded on BlackRock as an ETF, like this is it's gonna be crazy bullish if I'm not mistaken. You guys can let me know what you think. But Bitcoin is going to continue to be the winner in this market. This is a little discussion with Anthony Popliano and one of the news stations, who is CNBC, I believe. Yes, CNBC television. So let's see what Anthony Pomp has to say, and then we'll just do a little AMA before we get out of here. Obviously, because my computer's not agreeing with me today.
From one of the stories, bringing crypto guru and tech investor Anthony Popliano. He is the founder of Pomp Investments and the host of the Pomp podcast, which is not without circumstance. See what I did there, Anthony? Thanks for joining us. Your take. How big of a don't I'm a dad. It's a dad joke. How big of a deal is this BlackRock ETF?
Yeah, look, I think what's happening right here is everyone's heard of the space race, where a bunch of countries got together and they all tried to get to space first. But now what we're going to see is the great accumulation race. And what I mean by that is we have institutions and individuals all scrambling to try to get their share of the 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be in existence. The retail investor for 15 years now has had a head start, and they've accumulated all the Bitcoin that has been actually mined and put into circulation. But 68% of all of that Bitcoin in circulation hasn't moved in over a year. And so what that means is when Wall Street, people like BlackRock and other organizations that have now filed for these ETFs or other products, show up to the market and they want to buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a highly illiquid asset, and these Bitcoiners don't want to sell to Wall Street. And so the only thing that can move when you have a fixed supply asset that's highly illiquid and there's a bunch of demand that comes into the market is the price has to go up. How long that takes is anyone's guess, but I think that's the big story here is the great accumulation race is underway.
Let me flip it a little bit, Anthony, because we all know, I don't know how old you are, I'm not going to ask, it's not polite, but I'll tell you, I do know this now as a parent. Once the parents start getting involved in the cool stuff that their kids are doing, it is no longer cool. Parent starts dressing like the kid, no way, change it up. It appears, Bitcoin was kind of always the decentralized future of money, kind of hard to understand for the uninitiated, the cool kids thing. Now, guess what? No offense to BlackRock, maybe the world's most boring company in some ways, is now adopting it. Does that hurt Bitcoin in any way from like a cool standpoint?
Yeah, look, I've always said that Bitcoin sits at this really unique area in finance. If I go and I talk to people on Wall Street and they own Bitcoin, they'll tell me Bitcoin is the riskiest asset in their portfolio. If I then go and I talk to kind of the crypto community and go and talk to people who are buying all sorts of crazy assets, they'll tell me that Bitcoin is boomer coin. It's the most boring thing that they have in their portfolio. And me personally, as an investor, that's where I want to sit. I want to have the riskiest asset in the conservative investor's portfolio, and I want to have the most conservative asset in the risk taker's portfolio. And so I think that BlackRock right now is realizing if you just bought Bitcoin and held it since the start of the pandemic, you've outperformed almost every single hedge fund on Wall Street. You just Bitcoin and chill. And I tend to think that these investors, they're not going to go put 100% of their assets into Bitcoin. But what they are starting to say is, does this warrant a 1, 2, 3% allocation into a portfolio? And I think that that argument is becoming much more hard to ignore. And so what I think you're going to start seeing is that these large asset managers say we have to have a product in the market.
Well, 4 years ago, like almost to this week, I kind of gave a shout out. It wasn't endorsed, kind of a fake shout out to Litecoin, right? You got Algorand, you got Solana, you got Dogecoin, you got Ether. How much are you in any of these ones? To your point, the more risky ones, the more gambling, not boring old Bitcoin in a way, but taking an investment risk down that crypto ladder, if you will, Anthony.
Bitcoin is the king. I don't think that's going to change. It's over 50% of the market today. Hash rate's at an all-time high. If you go and you look at wallet addresses with 0.1 Bitcoin or 1 full Bitcoin, it's hitting all-time highs. And I continue to think that Bitcoin is going to continue to prove to be the winner in this market. And so if you're somebody who's looking at the market, it's just like buying the S&P 500 index, right? You just want the boring thing that seems to keep compounding for a long period of time. And it's the timeless investing principle. Buy great assets and never sell them.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's kind of, oh, God, this computer, bro. This computer is killing me. I can't even change my damn scenes. Anyways, man. All right, let's, I want to see. So somebody brought up the, what is it? This exchange, the EDX exchange. This is, I don't want to really watch this, but so the crypto exchange backed by Fidelity. This is Schwab and Citadel launches with additional investors. This was a couple days ago, I believe, right? No, yesterday. This is yesterday. So EDX market is this is the exchange that they're trying to, it's more or less like a, what is it, a non-custodial? Is that how they, I guess, label it? But being backed by Fidelity Digital Assets, Charles Schwab, and Citadel Securities, this is kind of a big deal, right? So obviously this is kind of a bullish thing in the market as of right now anyways. But what they're basically doing is they're going to be lining up traders. They're not going to hold any of the crypto. So there's no like real risk for these companies to start this kind of thing, but it kind of gets their feet wet, right? So they're just lining up buyers and sellers to trade on the platform, but you have to bring your own custodial like wallet or whatever forward because they're not going to hold any type of, crypto. So whatever, but that's definitely a bullish thing. What else? So BlackRock, for anybody that doesn't know, is my music still working? I don't even know. There we go. I don't know if you guys can even hear that. Whatever. It's low, but is what it is. All right. So BlackRock, if you guys don't know, so BlackRock is one of the world's largest leading providers of investment advisory and risk management solutions. It says We are a fiduciary to our clients. We're investing the future on behalf of clients. That's not what that is not the one I wanted to find. What is BlackRock? That is not the article. All right, never mind. That was a fail. That was a fail. Because I had one I wanted to read, but clearly that's not the one. All right, F it. Anyways, guys, I don't know. Let me know what you think about this whole BlackRock thing. I think it's kind of cool. I think it's bullish for crypto overall. I don't know what the hell's going. Like, look at this. Look, my crypto bubbles isn't even loading. Look at this. I know you guys can see that. Something's going on with this PC, bro. This is killing me. And if Diablo killed my 3090s, I'm gonna be very upset. Very upset if that happened. And if that's like, if this is like a ramification of that. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let me pull it up if I can. Oh, shut up, Max. I don't care. Fucking nerd. I don't care. All right. It's been a rough morning. Leave me alone. Let's see. That's a rock in the sea. That's black. It says red butts. Yes. Tinfoil, it is also where the government puts funds to buy stocks illegally, says Dog. Probably. Diablo 4 harmed your 3080? Nuh-uh. DJ. Did it really? That's going to be very, very upsetting. Because I have two water block 3090s. I'm going to be pissed if something's wrong with them. I'm going to have to check the drivers. Something might be up. But whatever. I don't know. Anyways, I apologize for the hiccups today, guys. That really sucked. Kind of threw me all off. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Little Time Mining. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. You're awesome, buddy. Appreciate you. And that's pretty much what it comes down to. It's really a factor of buying the rumor and selling the news. 100%. Like looking again at the fear and greed index. It's at what, 65, right? The higher this thing gets, the more scared you should be, to be honest. That's how it goes. You know, be fearful when people are greedy, be greedy when people are fearful. That's famous lines of Warren Buffett, right? That's how you should absolutely do it. Need you, can't get a tick. What? There's a tick on my son. Oh my god. You know what? Fuck today. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done already. It's like 8 in the morning and I'm done. 9 o'clock. God damn it. All right, I gotta go help the wife. Daddy duty. Just gonna cut it off. I'm gonna cut it off on. One of them days. Anyways, happy Friday, guys. Love you all. I'll see you guys later on today. I gotta check out my PC also, so it's gonna be interesting. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video. No, not tomorrow. Sorry, Sunday's video on the KSO. I'm gonna get that thing hooked up today. Have a good day. Enjoy your Friday. Peace out. See you guys soon. Maybe this afternoon with the wife. Peace, peace.